If you clicked on this video, chances are women don't see you as an option. You're either getting ignored, rejected, or worst of all, treated like a nice guy while she's chasing someone else's. And the worst part is, it's not because girls are shallow, evil, or only go after money. It's because you are making critical mistakes that are instantly turning them off. And in this video, I'm gonna break down the 10 brutal reasons why women will never want you. Some of these will hurt, I promise you that, but if you're serious about fixing your dating life, you need to watch this video. And the first one is you act like a little boy and not like an actual man. And what I mean by that is if you're constantly seeking validation, aka you need to know if she likes you, you need to know why she didn't text you back for a few minutes. Well, you're just not that solid rock she can actually trust and rely on, because you as the man are supposed to be the solid pillar. But if you're constantly in need of validation, you're not occupying the place of the man. You're basically being another female in the relationship. Now, the second one is you give off creepy energy. And what's crazy about that is a lot of guys don't even realize they're being creepy, because our definition of creepy as men is totally different than women. Think about it. Women, through millions of years of evolution, had to create these defense mechanisms to basically filter out all the creeps from normal guys, because there's just fucking weirdos out there who will try to hurt them. And if women act weird around you, it's not because they're rude, it's because your energy is off. Whenever you're being shy or you're being nervous or you're just unsure of yourself, you scream creepy energy. Creepy basically means uncertain. That's a translation in female language for what it means. So an easy fix is to actually be certain of yourself. And you see that with a lot of not so smart, not so successful, not ambitious guys, but they're just crazily certain of themselves. Like every word they speak out has this depth, this intonation, this pure certainty. And this is what women are attracted to. Now, the third reason is you're being way too available. And you have to see it this way. If you're just not putting any price tag on your attention and you basically just give away attention all the time without any cost, well, women are not going to value it, right? Women, just humans in general, value what is scarce. So don't be always available. Now, I'm not saying you need on purpose to ignore her messages, but you should put a price tag on your attention and be careful with that. Now, the fourth one is you have absolutely zero sexual presence. And that is totally okay if you want to be friends and you want to have these platonic conversations that never lead anywhere. But if you truly want to be the kind of guy that consistently and predictably has conversations that lead somewhere, you're going to have to develop a sexual presence. And the craziest thing is that us as men, it's not even that we're missing something. We have it within us. But it's more that society nowadays just doesn't push you to be this primal, almost animalistic version of yourself, because you're deemed as misogynistic or offensive or too masculine. But the truth is, if you want to consistently attract women, you're going to have to be unapologetically sexual and just be okay with the fact that you have a penis, which a lot of guys can't do nowadays. Now, number 5 is you overcompensate with money and status. And this is literally what most of my clients have done in the past, what I've done as well. I'm guilty of this. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I didn't do this. But every time you try to boast about yourself or you try to tell the girl, oh, I'd make this much money, I have this job, I'm this cool, well, you're automatically putting yourself beneath her, because why would you have to impress somebody if you're on their level or above, right? So the only reason most guys feel the need to have to say all these things is because they subconsciously think they're not good enough for the girl. And this is another topic. I made a video about that, about why you think you're not good enough for her. But you need to stop basically thinking that money and status is going to fix all of your problems in dating. In fact, it's quite the opposite, and I've seen it happen a lot of times. Now, those next 6 to 10 reasons are not so much about attraction, but about who you are as a man, and the really fatal mistakes that you absolutely want to avoid at all costs. So number 6 is you're just an emotional mess. And this kind of ties back into point number 1, but you can't be emotional if she is, right? Because the girl is looking for that rock, again, for that guy she can rely on. So if you're not even able to accept rejection or deal with a girl not liking you, how can she trust you in having her kids, marrying her, or potentially even more? You can't crumble under pressure, and most guys do, so do the opposite. All right, number 7 is going to piss off a lot of people. But you're ugly and you do nothing about it. And it's not even so much ugly, but you're physically unattractive. If your first reaction right now is, you're a piece of shit, how could you dare say that? I can't change anything about my looks. Yes, you can. There's dozens of guys I've helped and I've given advice on how to look better. And it created immense changes in how women perceive them and their actual results in their dating lives. And so you want to take a holistic approach of how you look as a man and just see, okay, what can you optimize? And it's not really so much about how you look, but it's about the fact that you're trying to improve and trying to look better. I can guarantee you a guy who is not that typically good looking, but just has this drive of bettering himself and going to the gym every single day is going to be 10 times more attractive than a guy who might be better looking, but is just a slob, doesn't take care of himself, and doesn't do anything to improve his looks. Right, so number 8 is you try to logic your way into attraction. And this is very common because the way us men see women is basically a problem to be solved. We want to go from A to B. And in an ideal world, what us men we would love is basically we would go up to a woman and say, hey, do you like me? Yes, no. And if she says yes, we go on a date. It's not how it works. Because for women, the whole thing is an adventure. It's not a result. It's not an outcome. It's not a process. You want to think a little bit like a woman, right? You want to act like a man and don't want to have any excuses when you're taking action, but you absolutely need to understand the frame from which women are operating, and that logic is just not going to create attraction. And so if you ask a lot of these interview questions like, hey, what do you do? Where are you from? You're just boring the hell out of her and it's not going to create any attraction. So number 9, and this is key, is you lack a purpose or a mission. And I know how cheesy it sounds. You've probably seen this on a million YouTube videos, but it's just so true. Because when the girl notices that she is not the most important thing in your life and that you have other stuff going for you, it makes you 10 times more attractive. It's really not so much about the purpose, but it's about the fact that when you have a purpose or when you have a higher goal, whether that's your business, sport you're pursuing, well, she can't be the number one. She just can't, because otherwise the first thing would not be the goal, would not be the ultimate thing you're trying to achieve. And last but not least, you settle for low quality women. And the reason why this is so unattractive and why women are just not going to want to be with you when you settle for low quality women is because it communicates who you truly are. If you settled for low quality people, not just women, it basically means you're a low quality person. Because why on earth would you as a quality guy accept or tolerate low quality women, whether that's low quality behavior or toxic traits or just things you don't want in a woman? So raise your standards and just stop going for these women. If you're actually serious about unlocking your dating life and you want to be able to attract consistently and predictably high quality women that you want to date, maybe even, from a place of choice and abundance, get into a relationship with a girl you actually like, not like most men from a place of scarcity, you know what to do. Go to I'mJohnnySocial.com, watch the free training. It's 100% free. Book a call with me if you're serious and we'll chat.